Rain falls on Caernarfon Castle. It beads on the battlements, slides down the ancient stone and pools in the cracks carved by centuries. It's not just water, it's memory. A quiet witness to the rise and fall of kings, to rebellion, ceremony and the long shadow of empire. Caernarfon is no ordinary fortress. It was born of ambition, Edward I's ambition in 1283, fresh from his brutal conquest of Gwynedd. He chose this site not just for its strategic value, but for its symbolism. A Roman fort once stood here. Edward, ever the tactician, sought to cloak his conquest in the robes of empire. He summoned Master James of St. George, a Savoyard architect and military engineer. Together they envisioned a castle that would not merely defend but dominate. Polygonal towers, striped masonry and imperial eagles carved into the stone. Echoes of Constantinople, of Rome, of power made permanent. In 1284 Edward's son was born within these very walls. Edward of Caernarfon, later Edward II. His birth was no accident, it was theatre, a prince born on Welsh soil to rule over it. The Statute of Rhuddlan followed, binding Wales to the English crown. The message was clear. The age of native princes was over. But the Welsh didn't yield quietly. In 1294, Madog ap Llywelyn led a fierce uprising. He captured the town of Caernarfon, but the castle, unfinished though it was, held firm. Edward returned with fire and fury. The rebellion was crushed and the castle's construction accelerated. It would never fall to rebellion again. Yet resistance lived on. Owain Glyndŵr, the last great Welsh rebel, rose in the early 15th century. Though he never took Caernarfon, his dream of an independent Wales burned brightly. And in 1485, a Welshman, Henry Tudor, claimed the English throne as Henry VII. The dragon had returned to the crown. Centuries later, Caernarfon became a stage once more. In 1911, Edward VIII was invested here as Prince of Wales in a ceremony designed to bind empire and identity. And in 1969, a young Charles, now King Charles III, was invested in a spectacle broadcast to millions. But outside the walls, protests stirred. For many, the ceremony was not celebration, but reminder that history here is never one-sided. Today, Caernarfon is not a relic. It is a living place, preserved, protected, and made open to all. Thanks to Cadw, the castle has embraced the future. A modern lift now rises within the Eagle Tower, allowing visitors of all abilities to ascend to the heights once reserved for kings and guards. New viewing platforms line the battlements, offering sweeping views of the Menai Strait and the mountains of Snowdonia. These additions are more than conveniences. They are acts of inclusion. They say, this history is not just for the able-bodied, the privileged, or the powerful. It belongs to everyone, to the curious child, to the thoughtful traveller, to those whose ancestors once fought beneath these walls, and those who simply wish to understand them. Let the rain fall, let it wash over the stone, over the stories, over the centuries. Let it remind us that history is not fixed in place. It is shaped by those who built, those who resisted, and those who remember. Caernarfon Castle stands, not just as a monument to conquest, but as a testament to resilience, to change, to the enduring power of place, and to the rain, which remembers it all.